You are listening to the Puppetins Podcast. Your host for today, Jennifer Iyoha.
Hi everyone, I am Jennifer Iyoha, currently studying accounting at Covenant University. I happen to be one of the privileged individuals to be a beneficiary of David Oyedepo Foundation. I am also a girl advocate. I was selected to be among the 36 girls to be trained by Stand With a Girl Initiative and the Strong Enough Girls Empowerment Initiative in 2021. So today, I'm going to be talking about procrastination. But before I proceed, I would like to appreciate the anchor of this program, Mr. Ibrahim Benishola, for this great opportunity. I do not take it for granted. Thank you, sir, for this opportunity. That being said, let's get right into today's topic, procrastination. But let me start by telling you a story about myself. While in high school, SS2 precisely, I was a complete procrastinator. I went to a government-owned school which has a lot of students. In my class alone, we were over 80 students. Funny, right? A little secret. If you're a good student in a government-owned school especially, you tend to become close to your teachers, and this makes them to open you up to a lot of opportunities and implore you to engage in them, sometimes whether you were interested in them or not. I know some of us can relate to this. My case was essay writing. My mentor introduced this to me and introduced a lot of opportunities for me, but guess what? I didn't do any one of them, or rather, I didn't ever finish up an essay before the deadline. I could not finish most of my essays, not because I wasn't motivated, don't get me wrong guys. My mentor tried all he could to motivate me, but I just wasn't getting it at that time. This was probably because I had a fixed mindset then. Not to worry guys, I would explain the fixed mindset. So basically we have two types of mindsets. We have the fixed mindset and then we have the growth mindset.
You are listening to the Puppetins Podcast.
So basically, the fixed mindset is what most teenagers possess today. This is the kind of mindset whereby you believe that intelligence is fixed. So if you're good at something or if you're not good at something, you might believe that you can never be good at that thing. And the growth mindset means that you believe that intelligence and talents can be developed over time. The most apparent difference between the growth mindset and the fixed mindset is the way you respond to setbacks, right? Someone with a fixed trait views failure as an affirmation of their inability to succeed, while an individual with a growth mindset sees mistakes and supposed failures as opportunities to learn. I hope this is clearly understood. And I hope we're all taking notes guys. Let me just chip this in. Get your jotters, your pens, popcorn, coffee, tea, drink, anything that you think would enable you to focus more, because this isn't your regular podcast episode. There's a lot to learn from my story. By the way, in the course of the session I will be telling you all the things I wish I knew to avoid procrastination and what I did to overcome it. So guys, there's a lot to learn from this podcast episode. Be attentive and thank you for paying attention. Now let's get back to my story. So the fixed mindset was the one I had. I never liked failing at a thing. You can say I was a perfectionist. I was procrastinating in order to avoid facing up to failure and its consequences. Now comes the important part, how I overcame that fear of failure. I started preparing myself to succeed, which involved dedicating adequate time to research and planning. I read up on editing and proofreading academics papers to ensure I didn't lose any mark for careless mistakes. The essays I submitted after I cast aside my fear of failure, mind you, this was due to the actions I took to prepare myself, gained good marks. This was after SS3 though, don't laugh at me. I wrote an essay and sent it to my mentor to proofread. He was actually surprised, firstly because he wasn't expecting me to write the essay, because he didn't even send the opportunity to me in the first place. I saw it on his Facebook page and decided to partake in it. And he was also surprised because the essay was better than the ones he had seen me with back then when I was in SS2. I was very pleased at my work and felt encouraged to work even better on future projects without procrastinating, as I now knew I had the formula for success. The moral lesson of this aspect of my story is that if you're worried that you're going to let yourself down, then make sure you have taken every practicable step to ensure you don't fail. Some of the practical steps I wish I knew back in SS2 were: number 1, to prepare adequately for any task you undertake in order to mitigate the risks of failure. Preparation before embarking on the task is a key factor to tackle procrastination. For instance, you're into writing. When given a topic, prepare first before you start writing. You can start by carrying out the general research on the topic, jot down points, try to understand the topic given. If you don't prepare before a task, definitely you tend to get lost in it. And because I know most of us don't like doing things that we don't really understand, or because we get lost in the middle or anything, this will eventually make the individual stop halfway and procrastination will come in. So prepare adequately before a task, just so you can avoid procrastination while performing the task. Number 2, give your best effort so that if you do stumble at any stage, those around you will be reluctant to judge you for it. This means that while carrying out the tasks or assignments given to you, give it your very best. Try as much as possible not to be challenged about it. Do not give any task a nonchalant attitude. That's what I meant. What this does is this: if eventually you did not finish up the assignment or tasks before deadline, those around you, I mean your teachers, your mentors, parents, friends, colleagues, etc., would not judge you for it because they saw how much work you put into it. For a fact, judging from others can lead to procrastination, in the sense that you feel everyone think you're not good enough, so you yourself begin to see yourself as such. So this causes you to do things as they come. You procrastinate in the long run. You can also bear this in mind as well. 1, most mistakes can be fixed. You will definitely get another chance if something goes wrong. Please bear this in mind, guys. 2, if you perpetually procrastinate on a task, you are already in the process of failing. Taking action is the only way to reverse this. The third one now, most tasks or activities can be broken down into smaller chunks. Use this strategy, guys, to make things manageable and easy to attempt and reduce the risks of failure. This was what I did. I made this an habit of breaking my tasks into smaller chunks, just so it can be easy and manageable. Fearing failure or the perceived consequences of failure shouldn't hold you back from achieving great things in life. Now you know effective strategy for beating this fear. It's time to fight back against procrastination and unleash your inner motivation and creativity. I will end my story here. Now, let's get into the causes of procrastination generally. Number one, the fear of the unknown. Sometimes people put their plans off because they are uncertain of what they are going to experience. For instance, as a student, you procrastinate your project or assignment just because you don't know what to expect or what grades your teacher would give for the assignment or project. So you tend to just procrastinate and then rush to finish it up just a few minutes before the deadline because you're afraid of the unknown. And the next one is multiple distraction. Procrastination takes place when many distractions hinder a person from concentrating on a task. This problem is especially significant to teenagers. Smartphones and free internet access has made it difficult for teenagers to concentrate on a particular thing, thus making you choose between pleasant things and your own obligations. Likewise, we also have the lack of motivation, the fear of failure, and perfectionism. To conclude this podcast session, I will give some recommendation against procrastination, and if done and followed consistently, procrastination would be conquered. Number one, do a power hour. I know some of you are wondering what power hour means. Not to worry, I'm here for you. I will explain what that means. So a power hour consists of putting away all distraction and operating in a shorter period of time, accompanied by small rest breaks to optimize the brain and body's maximum efficiency. Now this is very important. When working on a project or assignment, it is important that you take breaks at intervals so that you do not tire yourself, because once you work and tire your brain, the urge or the desire to finish that work begins to reduce and then procrastination can come in. So the next one is have a procrastinating power song. This is funny, right? I know. Pick a song that is really energizing and play it anytime to address something that I've been procrastinating. The brain likes to have a reason to build a new habit and to feel comfortable in the body. Number 3, make it fun. Another way to encourage oneself to complete a task is to build a reward oneself will be offering himself after it is accomplished, after the task is completed. What could oneself treat himself after the task has been completed? You can ask yourself this question. Evidence indicates that the human brain reacts to motivational reinforcements, and this can be a good way to build behaviors. Number 4, pick one task. This is very important. It cannot be overemphasized. Pick one task, guys. Concentrating is crucial to overcome procrastination. Generally, one gives himself too many things to do, and at the end of it, you get frustrated. Start by choosing just one item. One has been procrastinating, and make a commitment in the next week to complete the mission using own effort. So it's better for you to choose one item and finish that up before going to the next item. Don't try to do everything at once. In conclusion, procrastination does more harm than good, and sometimes it can be very hard to avoid. because it is induced by the behavior of an individual. To therefore avoid stepping into procrastination, the individual must be wise enough to regulate his or her anxiety and not let it interfere with their day-to-day work and mission. If I can overcome procrastination, every other person can avoid it too. Just take practical steps. I want to thank you all for listening once again, and also I want to thank the anchor of this program, Mr. Ibrahim Benushola, for this opportunity. I remain Jennifer Iyoha, an accounting student in Covenant University. Thank you very much for listening.